Top Gun Show. This is the Top Gun Show. The Top Gun Show. With Steve Farmer. Welcome to the Top Gun Show. This is the Top Gun Show. The Top Gun Show with Steve Farmer.
Well, welcome to the Top Gun Show, where I bring you new providers, new technologies, and introduce you to the best professionals in the industry, all so you can make informed decisions. Today, I'd like to welcome Adam Weiner, the VP of Technology for Granite Telecommunications, my favorite company, the sponsor of the Top Gun Show. Adam has spent 13, 14 years here at Granite, something like that, and has a constant desire for technical and interpersonal self-improvement that drives a ceaseless engine of growth and motivation. He operates at the bleeding edge, believe me, of what is possible, and recently he confessed that he spends more time talking to ChatGPT than anybody else in his life. Adam, welcome back to the Top Gun Show.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice to have you on. It's been hard to get on your calendar because I really do think you're the smartest guy, not only at Granite, but like anywhere in the world.
I'm not, but I appreciate that, and I'm excited to be here.
Cool. Well, let's start at the top. What is the most exciting technology on Granite's roadmap, and why do you think so?
It has to be agentic AI in general, which is us building systems that go off and do things for us in the background. Think about it if you are managing a customer relationship and at your beck and call, you had an AI assistant that could check to see whether all of the shipments that were supposed to go out to the customer yesterday went out. And if one of them didn't, what the status of that was. That could check to make sure that all of the orders and installs that we have going with the carrier are working as expected and proceeding as expected. You have an army of people at your disposal. We are building these tools to create scale and value for our customers. It's my belief that the only way to scale is with money, with people, which cost money, or with technology. And we're trying to create that zero marginal cost of scale where we can be a differentiator in the marketplace.
Yeah, we just had our sales kickoff a couple days ago, and you mentioned some of the things and gave us a demo of what's coming. And I mean, everybody in the rooms, their mouth was just wide open, like, I can't believe we're heading down this path. Pretty darn exciting stuff. So, but a lot of people are afraid of AI. Agentic AI is going to, cost me my job, is going to change my life in a negative way. So let's talk a little bit about that. How are AI in automation changing how Granite manages network reliability, incident response, and customer experience? And maybe more importantly to some in the audience, where are we deliberately not using AI?
That's a great question. First of all, we are not approaching AI through the lens of cost reduction and headcount reduction. In fact, almost everyone here, to a person, has a whole lot more that they want to do for our customers and with our products. And the goal is to enable them to do more, to have access to more information, to be that omniscient relationship bridge between the customer and the archaic telecom industry. So what we are doing is we're taking a lot of the rote procedural things that we need to do. Layer one troubleshooting, interfacing with carrier partners, opening tickets with carriers, checking the status and updating, requesting escalation and dispatches from carrier partners. These are things that humans have traditionally been doing, but the opportunity cost of them doing that means they're not focusing on places they could add significantly more value.
Right.
And what we've done is we've built an agentic system that we call Nora that is able to interface with carrier partners and do network incident detection and resolution. And it is processing about 12% of the workload in our network operations center.
Wow.
We handle between 40 and 50,000 incidents a month, and 12% of the time spent is now handled by this system, meaning our team can focus on where the customer needs us more. We haven't reduced the size of the knock or the impact, but they can really focus on what's important, bringing down the MTTR, improving communication, and having a better product than a lot of our competitors. As to your question of where do you not use AI, if you're a relationship company, which Granite is, the human relationship is incredibly important. And building and establishing that trust is critical to the continued success and growth of both companies. And you need to be very careful where you apply AI when it relates to communicating with the customer and the customer experience. And I'll go one step further and say AI is a probabilistic system, meaning probably not for this discussion, but there's a whole lot of math going on behind the scenes, and it's never 100% accurate, never. So if you need something to be 100% accurate, you need some sort of other system to overlay on top of AI to ensure that your output is 100% aligned with what you need it to be.
Yeah, that's great. Great answer, man. I love that.
Appreciate that.
A lot of great content there. And you're right, we could probably talk you should be on a panel for an hour or two talking about this. I mean, there's so much content. I have to ask you, Nora, is that an acronym or is that like an old girlfriend? What?
It's not an old girlfriend. It is, if I had a daughter, I would name her Nora. And we thought that we would give our agents personas. So there's a few.
Okay.
We have, Nora's one of them. There's more that we might get a chance to talk about in a few months, but she's the one that handles our network incident resolution.
Good for Nora.
Yeah.
I know the whole time at the knock is like been drastically cut.
Yeah, it's under a minute.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible. Okay, next question for you. What part of Granite's technology stack has delivered the greatest operational leverage as we have scaled as an organization?
It's another really good question. The answer is not as sexy as you might think it. The systems that scale the best are the ones that are the most broadly applicable and that work well as the business continues to evolve and they're connected to all of our systems and data. So what I'm talking about is our enterprise service bus and the automation that's connected to it. You can think about it like a data lake or a highway that runs through Granite. And every single thing that we built in the past and we have built since the tech revolution of 2021 is connected to this highway. What that means is when we need to build and develop new applications, new features, new tools, expose new data, connect via API with new customer applications, we can do it incredibly quickly because all of the data is already there. All of the systems that we've already spent all of this time building, a lot of times you just need to tweak them a tiny bit to create the new experience that allows you to win or grow an opportunity or differentiates your product in the marketplace. So I'm specifically talking about a partnership that we have with MuleSoft, which is a Salesforce company that enables us to connect all of our data and systems together. And then obviously the Granite 360 platform that exposes a lot of that to the customer.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Let's talk about Granite 360. I stopped counting all the awards that we've gotten with Granite 360. People talk about, oh, you invested $27 million into this project. Not a lot of organizations can do that. That's more than some of our competitors' sales, what we've just invested into Granite 360. So talk about, I don't know how you summarize this, but talk about Granite 360 from a high level. What is it? What are the benefits? Why are we putting all our chips into Granite 360?
The investment was critical for us to be able to introduce a breath of fresh air into the MSP and telco space. We are constantly surrounded by innovation in our lives. There's innovation happening in almost every vertical in industry. It's constantly propelling humankind forward. But in telecom, there has not been a major player, a titan that has grabbed the standard and marched the industry forward. And that's because they're not incentivized to do it. AT&T and Verizon don't want to improve the customer experience. They want to keep it difficult and obtuse and opaque and challenging to interface with telecom. They want it to be that legacy industry. You need us. The laws of physics say you can't get information from here to there without some sort of connection, some sort of internet or device-to-device connection to move data. So we need these companies, but they're not human first. And that's the vision of Granite 360, is we're not changing telecom, but we're changing the way you interact with it. We're making it easy, intuitive, simple. We spent a lot of time, a lot of that money was not spent on the app. It was spent integrating with 140 plus carrier partners. Everyone from the biggest names in the industry all the way down to municipal fiber companies. We know what their network looks like, where their network is, the capacity of the network, which buildings are lit, which are near net, where they need to do construction, and we expose all of that information to the customer transparently. So you don't need to go and do a bunch of market research and pull up 10 different websites to figure out which carrier am I going to buy my circuit from. You just need to trust in your partnership with Granite and that we will provide options that exceed your expectations. The idea that there's also other things that are involved along with the circuits and services that you procure with your partner, like management of that network. When something breaks, how do we fix it? Do we need to send somebody out there? We built that system. We have the Uber of field services and smart hands technicians, Tech Express. That's part of the Granite 360 ecosystem. We do 12,000 successful dispatches every single month. $120 million a year in satisfied field service work to complement our core business of circuits and managed services. And it doesn't stop there. It goes into the ability to see everything transparently when there is a repair ticket or a repair issue, having the ability to interact with it, to identify what's going on, to talk to the engineer that's working your ticket. You can't do that anywhere else. And we just believe it's a right and a privilege to create that experience for our customers.
Yeah, that's great. And if you want to see a demo of Granite 360, let me know. I'll set it up for you. I know people at Granite that can do great presentations. I can do it too, but not as good as some of the other people. But sounds like you're always going to have a job here.
Hopefully.
I mean, you'll never be done is what my point is.
I appreciate the challenges and the problems that Rob and the team allow us to solve and approach. They're big problems, and the trust that they have in us to develop solutions, we're never satisfied. So we're always building new things. We're constantly evolving the system. Every 2 weeks, something new is introduced to Granite 360, and a lot of it comes from customer feedback.
And you know, because I'm on business development sales of the channel, I want to give you a compliment. A lot of people say and I did. I said you're one of the smartest guys I've ever seen. But I think your biggest asset is that you listen. You listen to the channel. You listen to end users. You listen to what we're saying customers want, and you're smart enough to then convert that into an action that delivers it. So thank you for listening, I guess is what I want to say.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, now, Adam, you've been on the show before. You know that I ask embarrassing personal questions about you. So let's do it again. Why don't you tell the millions and millions of people that are watching you right now some fun little known facts about yourself?
Sure. I have 3. I have never owned or worn sunglasses, and I don't have glasses or contacts. I have never eaten a banana, and I've never worn flip-flops or slides.
Okay, can you tell me why? Like the banana, why would you never eat it? Is there like a religious thing? I don't eat bananas.
It isn't the taste, because I've had artificially flavored banana things. I just look at the texture and I'm not
a fan.
It's like baby food to me. So
yeah,
maybe before I die, but
that's interesting.
Not in the last 40 years.
I've never seen an episode of Star Trek. And like people have said, hey, sit down and watch Star Trek with me. I'm like, no, because then I can't say I've never watched Star Trek. So you're kind of stuck now with sunglasses, flip flops, and bananas.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it going.
You got to keep it going. Yeah. Well, Adam, hey man, I know you're busy. Thank you so much for carving out time out of your schedule to be on the show.
I appreciate the time, and thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for watching, everybody.